second? You need
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just responding to all that words about this Christmas thing. These are the cheapest fucking headphones I've ever seen.
Yep.
God.
Alright, welcome back to Sharp Edge of the Word with, I'm your host, s1e11. This is going to be Season 1, Episode 11. And today I have a very special guest, Minnesota-based comic, Mr. Ali Sultan.
You're not even going to tell me how to use the microphone? Fuck that. Put the microphone over there. What should I use? This is what I need to do.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
What do you mean? In my podcast, we use professional equipment.
Okay.
This looks a little bit foreign to me. Hey, it's going to be here. Thanks for having me. That's what I meant to say.
So, actually, just to recap, when I first met you, when I came to Minneapolis as a new comic, I saw you in Acme, and this is maybe 4 years ago. And
okay, has it been that long, man? Time flies.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
I remember seeing you, in Acme crushing it, and you had just won both of the Acme comedy and the funniest person in the day job competition.
Yeah,
the same year.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That was cool, man. First time and last time it happened in this city.
First and last time. Yeah, so that's
no, I'm not saying it's not like that. I'm not saying it's gonna be forever the last time, but most likely it's not gonna happen.
I love it. So can you tell me a little bit about your story? Like how, where you're from, how you got here,
what the love of God, bro. You're just jumping into the story?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to butter me up first, man.
No lube.
Jesus, man, I'm sick. I have flu. I have pink eye, the viral kind, not the poop in the eyes. It's a virus, okay? I want to clarify. It's been really embarrassing having pink eye, because you gotta you can't say I have pink eye because most people assume it's from poop. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been just telling people I broke up with my girlfriend.
Sit down, take my name.
They're like, what's wrong with your eyes? I go, man, I thought we were gonna get married. Yeah.
How long have you been dating? You're your girlfriend now.
I just spilled tea on my face.
What's the heavy question to ask?
That's what happens when you win all these contests. You just lose your moral skills. I've been dating Kelsey for a little over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we live together now. It's the first time I live with someone. Pretty cool. I really super enjoy it, man. I wake up every day, super grateful and happy that she's here. Like excited, like a kid. I'm like, ooh, I live with my best friend.
That's amazing.
And soulmate,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. I love it.
That's awesome. So you're originally from Yemen and Ethiopia, right?
Mostly, I was born in Yemen. Lived in Ethiopia for 4 years. So I have both heritage. I have my mom's side. Her mother is Ethiopian. My dad's side is mysterious. That's why I'm taking my DNA test.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be very interesting, actually.
Yeah, well, I can show you. I did Ancestry, but the problem with Ancestry is they lump the Middle East and East Africa together.
You want something more specific, huh?
I need something a little more specific because Ethiopia and the Middle East are not the same ethnic group,
right?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
But that's how they usher, right? What I was trying to see is if he had some Ethiopian lineage, my father, because I know that he was born in Ethiopia for some reason.
Okay.
And he lived there, but I don't know why. So I'm just trying to figure,
It's you're trying to put the pieces together.
Trying to put the pieces together, man.
Right.
Very black. Very black experience. Trying to figure out my heritage.
Yeah.
So this is what it came out of.
Oh, interesting.
So
wow. So you definitely have some migration patterns.
Yeah. So it says I'm at 79% Middle Eastern, but it's lumping Syria, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Oman, Yemen, United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, Palestine, Qatar, Bahrain, Egypt, and then also lumping Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Cyprus.
Interesting. And with the South African part, that's what's like.
The South African is
outlier,
insane, dude. I have no idea how I'm 17% South African and hunter-gatherer. That's what it says. Hunter-gatherer. I gather and I hunt. That was a shocker for me. So Namibia and Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon. Oh my God, I gotta learn about the people.
You gotta learn the people.
You don't know about as the way we say it there is we say Gibeon.
Okay.
Like Turkey is Turkey, but people here say Turkey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. Gibeon.
Tomato, right?
I'm just making. But yeah. So that my sister did it with her. We have different dads.
Oh wow.
And she did 23andMe, and that one divided it by like kind of percentages. So shorter East Africa, this percentage, Middle East, this. So that I apply. I have another kit coming up.
Right on.
For 23andMe, so I can find the exact percentage and see what my father was up to, brother. What else was he doing aside from hunter gathering? You know, the funniest part of it is like my dad's family just keeps saying that they're like Turkish descendant. They're like, yeah, no, we're Turks. You know, we Sultan was a businessman from Turkey, and you know, like this one, my aunt told me. But I'm so excited to be like, yo, you are a fucking hunter gatherer.
You're about to shake the family tree, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you thought you're all Turkish? Nope, hunter gatherers. Dope, which is dope, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I've always wondered why I love going in the middle of the night outside and gathering rabbits. I think rabbits all the time.
So do you draw a lot of your comedy from your biracial heritage and your experiences growing up as an immigrant American?
I draw from what's funny, dude.
Yeah.
That could come from anywhere. I do a lot of personal stories. Every joke I tell has truth to it. It starts with the truth, because good jokes need some sort of exaggeration. It might exaggerate here and there. Sometimes it doesn't need to exaggerate because the reality can be exaggerated.
Right.
But yeah, it's all from true stuff, and that could be my experience. I really don't talk a lot of Ethiopian stuff, you know. And I haven't, you know, I'm culturally more Arab, I think, than Ethiopian, you know.
Okay.
So I was immersed more in that culture. So I can, and I'm just, you know, watching like Egyptian cinema series, watching Adil Imam, watching s1e11, you know, like you seeing all these things. I'm called, you know, culturally, and I grew up with Arabic music, Arabic TV, so I know that sense of humor more. Like I forgot how to speak Amharic, but I still speak Arabic, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I'm pretty sure there's some funny stuff in Ethiopia that I can go back to. I just
you gotta dig in the line.
It was a hard time for me, so I just kind of like blocked it from memory. You know.
And then when the time's right and place, I guess that's.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm heartbroken about it. It's just like my mind doesn't find fun memories. You know, I was like 9 years old when I lived there and separated from my mom because she had to be in America. So I was like four of my loneliest time in the world.
Wow, at a young age too.
Yeah,
so that's very impressionable.
Very, very depressing time for me. So.
And as a 9 from 9 to 13, you said?
Yeah. So I have a lot of like my mind. The way my mind works, I can go back as far as 3 years old and recall memories from there in Yemen. Very strong memories. I can recall years, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As soon as I get to Ethiopia, that's when my memory is pretty hazy.
Really?
Yeah. I just can't remember details, and I think just because, you know,
so hard that you just like that's where you go.
My mind's like, you know what, that chapter's over.
Right.
But I have some fond memories too. It's just like it's hard to be away from your family, you know.
Of course.
People I knew, my aunts, uncles, sisters. You know, I didn't grow up with that dad, but I knew he was in the vicinity and he cared about me and he would try to come to see me. So I was everything that I knew and loved was away from me. So
that's very tough, especially for a young kid.
Yeah, pretty good.
And then when did you come to the States?
14, 15.
Okay.
Turning 15, I think.
So right in the middle of high school, or beginning of high school.
Beginning.
Oh, wow.
I skipped all. People don't know this about me. I skipped all middle school, man.
Word,
man. Because I stopped going to school in Ethiopia. I was like, fuck this. I was like, it was a protest.
Yeah.
I was like, get me out of here, man.
Yeah.
You said it's gonna take a year. That's the problem, man.
Were you salty? Can you upset your mom with that? Like,
of course you're gonna resent your mom.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, I go back into it and I see that it was equally harsher for her, if not even more. You know, because she was the adult in this relationship. I love her dearly, but honestly, just as a kid. I've always loved my mom, but you're like, all right, I'm done, man. I thought this is gonna take a year. This is taking
4 years.
I thought it felt like 5.
Wow.
And I was like, I need to get out of here, man. And I was like, I'm not going to school.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, okay, fair enough. I was like, what? That's all it took? So I went to school till 4th grade and then skipped everything and then started in 9th grade in Prickly.
Oh man, that must have been an intense transition for you.
It is, man, because like, all right, new school system, new language, new writing, new reading, new
culture,
system, new culture. But the beauty, my greatest skill in life is my ability to adapt fast. As a former hunter-gatherer, I got the DNA for it, man.
You got the DNA to prove it.
No, I've always been super good at adapting, and that's actually why I'm like decent in English humor, is because it's my ability to adapt to like, this type of humor you guys about. Okay, cool. Let's see what they, and it's like one of the highest levels of humor almost, because it's versatile and sarcasm, irony, stand-up started here, I would agree. I would say that you can be funnier in Arabic because it's such an expressive language.
Yes.
But as far as like American.
Have you ever ventured into like Arabic comedy? Or I mean, like we went to Dubai for this specially taped recently for Comedy Central Arabia. How did you find the transition between an American audience and like an Arab audience to be, because there's also like the Arab American Comedy Festival, which is different, right? Because it's more like Egyptian heavy and like
the Arab Comedy Festival. Me and you've done this together. The Arab
3 years now.
Festival.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that the microphone picks up from that far?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even need to talk into it.
No, but it's just good quality audio.
Okay, all right.
And so if you're sick, I don't want you to like to know.
It's gonna make you edit a bunch of shit.
Actually, the first year we went, we had a funny story, right? We went to the Comedy Cellar.
Oh yeah,
and,
can I tell it?
Yeah, go. You do it.
That's a funny story. It's in my act. I'm just kidding. Me and you're doing it the first time ever, right?
Yep, first time ever.
I think it was my third or fourth time there. So I did it from the first year of comedy. They got me in.
Nice.
And we went to the Comedy Cellar together.
To try to get tickets in, but then
we couldn't get it. We went to the bar upstairs,
the Olive Garden branch,
and you were looking except you had a bigger beard
and a backpack,
and you walk in to the bar area
to the back where all the comics hang out.
There's they call it the comic. What do they call it? The comic
corner?
No, not corner. There's chair, seat, something in the table, the comic table.
Okay.
So we get closer to the comic table. And all of a sudden we hear Chris Rock's voice go, "You brought a backpack? You brought a fucking backpack?"
Yep.
That was to you. And I was like, oh my God, this is the closest you're gonna get to starting this.
Yep. I turned around and I was like installed in awe.
Yeah.
And then one of the waiters was like, "This is for comedians." I was like, but I'm looking, and they're like, "Just get the fuck out," you know?
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, so that was funny. And then, and can you take me through like your journey and with your podcasting now too? You have like a
You're a very bad host.
Am I? Give me some hosts. Give me some tips.
Let me give you some tips.
Yeah,
you can let a conversation linger and then edit it compressively, right? So you're doing a good job of like you doing research. You know exactly where this conversation is gonna go. There's not gonna be a dumb moment because if we get quiet, you're gonna go like, all right, we're gonna talk about the podcast. But
I don't know. I just want to plug it in for you. That's all.
Yeah, we can plug it in.
Yeah,
absolutely. Nobody's gonna listen to it. But what I'm saying is like we haven't even finished the initial one, which is Arab. You had a really good question about Arab crowds, right?
Oh yeah, the difference between American and Arab crowds.
That's a very interesting topic. So what do you think? What was like to do the Arab Comedy Festival? What was that crowd like for you versus like Minnesota, white or?
I feel like here in Minnesota, they're obviously more liberal, so you can get away with more, zany stuff. And I feel like the Arab crowd, if obviously, there's a majority of whatever population from Egypt or Palestine, so you have to cater to that because they're very like Arabs are very nationalistic people. And
that's a key point.
Yeah, so it's very hard to
very nationalistic. You go up there, and as soon as I remember one time this girl was like, "Enta Masri?" They just say if you don't say, they want to know where you're from.
Right.
And if you say I'm from Egypt, they go crazy. Like I remember last time I was there, I go, "I'm from Yemen," and I got real quiet, and I go, "Okay." And I go, "What if I said I was from Egypt? Would you guys like that?" It's like I hate that shit.
Yeah.
The whole point of it is like, this is how stubborn Arab people are and how nationalistic we are. The whole point of the festival is called the Arab Festival.
Arab American. We're all Arab American.
Arab American coming in together from all walks of life.
Right.
And representing us as a unit. And then meanwhile, this goddamn crowd, not all of them obviously, but some of them will be like, oh, Egypt, oh, Palestine, oh, Lebanon. It's like, no, you're missing the point.
Right. We all have something in common.
Yes.
Laughter between
yes,
our culture.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage at that festival every goddamn year. There's always
no, you're the outsider. I think you have a better look at it than.
No, man, I have like one. No, I'm not. I have to win them over always. They don't like trust me like that, you know.
Even though you're
I
just
gotta win them over every year, man.
Yeah.
I'm not like Egyptian. I'm not, you know, not what, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm also like some of them don't even think I'm Arab. Like fucking because there's a lot of light skinned people in that festival. There's a lot of like white passing people. To me, you're somewhat white.
Yes, I can definitely see that. You're talking about the
Dean,
colorism.
Yeah, Dean looks pretty.
He's not Sicilian, yeah. I mean,
I guess I didn't know that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm like the black dude in that fest.
And you find it an uphill battle, especially with because that is something in the airport.
No, it's not that much of a battle. I can win that crowd over, and I have every year. But I don't get the "you're one of us" card. You know, I don't get
initially.
That.
You have to earn it to feel like
yeah, and then I don't like pandering. So you're saying like you gotta like do stuff specific to them, and I don't do that.
Right,
just,
right.
I want to kill the way I want to kill.
Right.
You know, which is kind of tough sometimes because you get also respect that it's an Arab theme festival, so you gotta kind of like, you know, this is a time of the year or a festival where we can talk about certain experiences that a white crowd might not get.
I also find the how on a spectrum of how religious or how liberal the crowd is very difficult to find the sweet spot. You know, not to be too raunchy, but be at least for me personally, like I'm still really gay. You know?
Yeah,
I come out as very white. Like I said, first of all, I'm consider myself very Arab American and more Arab than American, or more American than Arab, to be honest. Like I know in your podcast you talk about, you know, like
identity.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And even you were saying like.
Well, the thing is, like, it's the craziest part of like that festival. I'm the most Arab one in there.
I think okay.
I am.
You grew up there most of your life, like
because I know the Middle East. I know that,
right.
You know, I'm culturally. You know, I grew up through it. I grew up watching. My first words were Arabic. My first TV is Arabic. My first favorite musician is Arabic. I grew up in the Middle East.
Right.
But I'm somehow the least one at the same time because I never felt like. I feel like what happens is when you grew up, when you are born in America, you kind of want to like. I see that with the Yemeni Americans that are born here too. You kind of like romanticize your heritage, and you. Just trying to see how it is. It's like you're American really culturally, but you're like trying to grab onto your heritage.
This is not,
you know, not
the same thing about I think any second gender, any American that's hybridized with another culture.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is the problem is like if I go Arab with this crap, I will lose them. Because they're not like, they wouldn't get the actual Arab references.
Right.
They get references that are almost like a white guy think is the Middle East. Like, you know, jokes that were, like when my annoying part is seeing Arabs do an Arabic accent, but they do it the way a white guy would do an Arabic accent. It's not even accurate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like almost like seeing a bunch of, it's just a weird thing. It's a weird
concept.
I get it. I understand. I'm not dogging it. I'm not saying I'm better than it, but it's just a weird spot.
Yeah.
So when I went to Dubai, I was doing my thing, just doing my jokes in English. It's for Comedy Central. I wanted to translate everywhere.
Yeah.
But I added a couple of lines that I knew specifically this crowd will get so well. You know, one of the jokes, an Arab American crowd will get it. You know. And one of the jokes, and Arab people will get it. Okay. And it's my FBI joke. So I added a line where I said, "My mom is so Arab, she made us clean the house and bake cookies for the FBI." Right? Like Arab people know that. Everyone
hospitality, but still with the
that hit home so hard for everybody. I talked about like driving in Yemen, and they got it. You know, with how crazy that is.
Yeah.
you know, it's just something. I feel I'm closer. I can kill that crowd harder than I can kill.
I was gonna say, you feel like you have more of a connection with that crowd in Dubai rather than in New York.
Meaning, like if I go Arabic, if I use I perform them in the West. I perform in front of white folks, and I want to make it in this business, and I know there's no for me to make it. I have to translate with everybody, right? Most specifically the white people. You know, that's who that owns this industry. That's who is the biggest crowd for it.
Consumers,
right?
yeah.
Biggest consumers for it. So I have to make sure I remain authentic, but I cross over. And then from that also, I feel like it's the crowd that needs us the most, right?
Right.
If I do a joke about what it's like to feel like to be an Arab in America, Arabs might relate to it, but white crowd, that might make a difference to them. They'll be like, oh, I didn't think of it this way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They might have an aha moment. So that's how I write. You know.
Interesting.
And since stand-up is American, and that's what I'm learning from, I stay true to that. But when I was in Dubai, I was definitely thinking, man, I could probably write in Arabic and it would be like a good quality jokes. Because a lot of the comedians or comedy there felt like 80s.
Really?
Yeah, they felt like 80s comedy.
Interesting.
A lot of like Take My Ride jokes and stuff like that. You know, we're definitely way more advanced than them and topic.
Right. Okay. Topical events
events and stuff like that. And what's funny, you know, they still like. I remember one of the comedians said I was on the phone and it was an Indian guy and people just started laughing immediately.
Just because Indian and then they had the character and all that stuff.
So you can like kill doing hacky stuff there. You can do like a lot of like kind of sexist jokes and they like it.
Even the women over there, I think, more is down with that stuff, right? Interesting.
I don't know, no down, but you know,
more palpable.
They see it as a norm there still.
Right.
But yeah, so I think I could be able to write in Arabic and write American quality jokes. You know,
in Arabic, and to be able to bridge that gap.
Subject matter, you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, you know, better than just dumb jokes.
Right. That's a good point. I don't know if Arabs are ready to consume.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all of them are like that. I saw some Arab comedians who like had some really good jokes, and I was like, oh, I'm very impressed. You know? There's a guy named Ali actually. He's from Dubai. So funny, so good, so good. Him, I think, is top of that chain for sure.
Okay, and when can we expect that special to come out?
They said it's gonna come out in March.
March 2019. Okay. Well.
Yeah, but it's coming out in Comedy Central Arabia.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. Might get a copy. We'll see.
And then you also have another special that.
I did Epix.
Can you explain what that is? It's Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes is producing it, and Paige, and it's called Unprotected Sets. Name's stupid, I think.
You don't like this name?
I think it's just kind of like it says.
It's just catchy but controversial, but still clean.
It's not kind of it's just silly pun. You know,
Unprotected
Sets. I guess I get it if you're like watching TV and you see the title is gonna grab your attention.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, like we read a lot of cool, good article with a clickbait title. Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like. But the show is incredible, man.
Where'd you film it?
Well, we filmed it at Acme.
Okay. Which is your home club, you consider, right?
Yeah, my favorite club. And that's where I started comedy. So it was pretty amazing to be able to like
full circle kind of start there and also do
no, it was amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's always been one of my biggest dreams to work there and to film a special there. It was amazing.
And is that currently out?
No, it's well, it is out. Sorry, I'm sick. I gotta clean my nose. It's out, but they have 12 episodes a season.
Okay.
And then they shot 17, so they said they're either gonna expand the season from 12 to more episodes, or put us in the next cycle, which seems like the next season.
Okay.
So so I'm not sure exactly when it comes out, but it is gonna come out one day.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm excited to see it. It's cool.
Yeah,
Documentary style.
Really? So behind the scenes as well as
the scenes, you know, like the interview portion had like 5 cameras. It was incredible.
Okay.
Oh man, the way they shot, I saw Shane Moss did it in the same night as I did. The way Acme looked in that, oh my god, it looks so beautiful.
Nice.
I'm so excited to see it. And the director was an Egyptian guy from Egypt.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's crazy. It was cool. So it's cool to work with, you know, one of my peeps. But yeah, man.
That's amazing.
Sorry for calling you a bad host. I was just kidding.
I mean, I can take the shit. I remember one of the things you said to me was, Yezen, you need to stop being so hacky. And that...
I didn't say it like that.
You said it exactly like that. That's very early in my
asshole.
comedy community. Yeah, you do sound like an asshole. Sometimes you are, but it's okay. Like, I know it comes out low.
Well, I have like a...
And the thing, it was one of the best things that someone told me, because no one would ever tell me that. And
Yeah,
I needed that.
yeah, I think it's meaner to lie to people.
Oh, yeah.
It's meaner to go to someone who's mediocre, good set.
Right.
The lady from the comedy store who died,
Mitzi
had a saying, and I think the saying was, I just heard it from other people. I think supporting mediocrity is a crime.
Oh,
something like that.
That's very deep.
Yeah, like that's why you like see America's Got Talent, and some mediocre person goes up and they can't sing.
Right.
Just because people are just like, oh yeah, that was good.
Clapping and yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw you're a very intelligent, very nice dude. You know, you got a very unique brain, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw, the potential, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm giving you advice that I wish people gave me when I started. I started with hacky stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's one of the turning points in my career. I mean, I know that it might sound harsh, but like I know it came from a good place. And ultimately,
I considered you a friend when I said that. So,
yeah.
I don't think I was like, oh yeah, you need to sing. I said that to Mo too.
Mo, yeah. Okay.
I gotta stop, man. People get upset at that shit.
I think there's a lot of sensitive people with comics, and most comics.
No, I mean it's sensitivity, but there's a way you can tell people stuff, because that can sound patronizing and condescending, and Arab people, we carry a certain tone.
Oh yeah.
Which comes off like that, but we're not like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way we're talked to with families.
Might seem demeaning or
but that's how we talk.
Right.
So I gotta stop.
No. Keep doing you. I think you're fine, man. You don't get too self-conscious. And like I said, I actually look at that as a great thing, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Glad, man.
So I
Glad you
appreciate
take it harshly,
So yeah, and then would you like to talk a little bit about your podcast? And
how many listeners do you have?
I don't know. It's on SoundCloud, IG.
Is it? You can find out. About the
creator one. Yeah.
The Pulse.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have a decent amount of listeners. My podcast is, not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to find.
I disagree.
The people that love it, they love it.
Mm-hmm. I think you have a lot of good topics where you talked about not fitting in, cultural identity.
Yeah, there's a lot of common mom-son relationship.
Yeah, it's very deep. I really think you're selling yourself short, and it's I know how you're talking about how you never fit in your family, and how sometimes you feel like comics are more relatable than your actual family.
Yeah.
And I say that about my family too. You know what I mean? My mom gets angry at me when I say that. So.
Absolutely. I think at least we all feel sometimes that we're misunderstood, and everybody one way or another feels like they're not quite interested.
Right.
I think that carries on in that thing. And if you're biracial, stuff like that, that's gonna hit home for you. We touch on some uncomfortable topics.
Yeah.
That nobody talks about. We talked about racism in the Middle East, man. Nobody talks about it.
Right.
Nobody talks about racism in Yemen.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the Middle East is one of the most
racist places in the world, for sure.
Yeah. And it's a weird type of racism. It's not like I don't feel like it's structural.
It can be based on class. It can be based on regionalism. It's a lot of different. It's very stratified and complex, but.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at episodes I have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes right now, and I have. I think I'm releasing 3 for the holidays.
Nice.
The first episode we talked about immigrating. Me and my mom immigrated to the United States.
Wait, hold on. First of all, let's plug it. The name of the podcast is.
It's Stories with My Muslim Mom.
Yeah.
It's on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and whatever you.
And it's a very interesting format because it's you and your mom, and it's you, but also it's her, and she's kind of new to the podcast game. You can tell she's getting more comfortable, and she's kind of getting. The progression level is very interesting to see that too.
And man, I'm getting to know my mom more.
Exactly.
Our relationship is stronger.
I don't know your mom, but I feel like I'm kind of getting to know your mom, and I kind of have that auntie.
She's a very lovable person, and it's the reason I keep doing it is she told me one day she's like, I don't know how you still love me like that, man.
She said that?
Yeah, she's like, I knew you loved me so much as a kid. I didn't know you would still love me like that. And like, so we get into a deeper level.
Yeah, I bet.
And so it's kind of nice. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these collection of stories and I'm gonna make something beautiful out of it. So I'm gonna, which I think they're beautiful as is, but visually I'm gonna do something with it. Either a book, TV series.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely
There's so much potential.
I'm definitely doing a TV series revolving my mom. I want to do a show where she's the protagonist and with her through the journey.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
Because we have so many cool things.
Yes.
But I think more impressive than me is my mom. Like I got from stuff, especially like.
But the whole
American, something like that.
Her story of coming here and like raising you guys.
Incredible.
And, yeah.
I'm gonna just keep getting recording these, and then one day I'll go through all of them and then
stream together and kind of
whatever that's already in my consciousness and whatever that's recorded, I'm gonna make something very beautiful out of it.
Yeah, man. I think
that's my life. That's my ultimate project so far.
Yeah, it's a story about your mom.
Yeah. These things can be so visually pleasing.
Yeah,
and can tackle issues that never you hear before.
How did you broach the topic of getting your mom onto the podcast with you? I mean, podcasting is a relatively new thing, and already you doing it kind of is, what I mean, or anybody doing it on their own is kind of a lot. So to get someone who's your mother from a different generation, and how was that conversation? And then
I know it was gonna sound interesting, and I'm always fascinated to hear her stories, especially from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
She has all the unbelievable things that she does, and I've always thought, oh man, she needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to share my stories as well. So like that was kind of where it's coming from. But my mom will do anything for me. So I was like, hey, you want to do it? She's like, yeah. Sure.
Is that really that easy?
My mom won't do anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
She's like, oh yeah, I left him in Africa for 4 years. It's some of that guilt.
So casually.
That's all it is. It's guilt. She loves me, but there's a guilt motivated. So it's just. So yeah, we did the American. I at least listened to his little talk, and I think it's because of the title. But over there, she talked about why she loves America.
Yeah, which episode was it? Number
2.
2. Yeah.
But I think just because little talk was something she's trying to say small talk, and she said little talk, and named the episode after that. But yeah, man. So yeah, well, I'm excited, man. The holiday ones that are coming out.
Yeah, what are the topics? Can you give us a little sneak peek of the next
we talked about the holiday spirit, So we talked in depth about Ramadan. Talked in depth about Eid Mubarak and what was your favorite thing about Eid back home and stuff like that. What was Ramadan like? And we talked about American holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And the cool thing is like Greg is an American guy who's with us in the podcast.
Oh really? Greg Coleman?
Yeah, no, Greg from Magnetronic.
Okay.
And he goes, I had no idea like those
intersections and
not only the but he didn't know like there was so much depth through Ramadan and like what I mean?
Oh, the spiritualness and like the
spiritualness, all the little cultural things, Sahur, Tarawih, and all these like things that we do in Ramadan. And like Eid and the way we celebrate, the way you get money from family and friends, and like about the way we did back home.
Salat Jama'ah and
we talk about how back home is there. Back home everything stays up late and open, and then people sleep through the morning. Like all these little details. It's that's I think, and I'm gonna sound a little pretentious here, but to me, art at its best is very specific.
Very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
So no abstraction, no.
It's specific meaning like you talking about something so specific to you. You hit it on something and you hit it at the heart because you know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's truth to you, and it's specific meaning like you don't really get to hear my mom's and eyes like a story, right? It's not a common story in the West or the Middle East. Right. This is not a point of view that you hear. Interesting. Because it's so specific, a specific point of view. When these things hit, they hit real hard with someone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like when you listen to it and you like it did something to you. Oh yeah, I can I vibrate with it. Yeah. That's something like that.
I mean, for me, I heard that you said that you had got a listener that was like a very like, oh wow, I didn't know women could do the things your mom did.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I didn't know a woman can get a divorce. My mom's been divorced like 3 times.
Yeah.
I have people, let's say like random people I don't even know. It's like, yo man, I'm Muslim, African Muslim, and you know, I'm violent and this and that. Biracial people like, yo man, I'm a light-skinned American, but I you know,
Identify
with that battle. So it's hitting all the right people, you know.
I think so.
It's an emotional podcast, and like you know, like for me, like
it is. It's very deep.
yeah, because like when I start a movie, it's hard for me to start an emotional movie. Like if you go, oh, this movie was an Oscar-nominated movie, I go, oh, I gotta like be emotionally ready for this. And I think that's the downfall of this is like people, you know, like if I was doing a podcast, you're like, oh, I can get in and out.
Yeah.
But this one is like, yo, man, I got that's why we keep it short. You know, I edited down the first episode to 30 minutes from like the 49 minutes that it was. So yeah, man, if you listen to it, man, sit down, listen to start with the kidnapping stories. Those that was like a lighter, funny, like cool stories.
Yeah.
I'm doing another podcast too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's that going on?
That one is just funny, dumb.
Just by yourself, or you have a
me? I'm doing it. I might do 2 test episodes. I'm gonna do one with 2 people and one with the other 2.
So like a round table type, or like just kind of.
It's. I mean, I'll tell you.
I'm sure it's gonna be experimental. I'm sure. So don't. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
It's just. Yeah, I'd rather, you know.
Keep it on the wraps for now?
Yeah.
But when can we expect that to come out?
If everything goes to plan, the beginning of next year.
Okay, soon, right around the corner.
Yeah, that one is the type of thing that goes kind of like viral. I feel like. Just because it's just so light-hearted.
Right. It's easy to consume. Like,
and funny, and it's like, I can't believe nobody's done anything like that.
Right.
Maybe it's probably something similar like that is out there, but it's so fucking simple. But it's like, it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. And it's one of those things that has endless topics you can go to. I'm excited for that. I'm just trying to find the right hosts.
Yeah, it's its own battle on its own, but And Minnesota's got a lot of funny people. And,
man, that's what I'm testing it with 4 different comedians, 2 and 2.
Okay.
I want to be a 3 people podcast. The first 2 are very funny, but I don't know if the dynamic is quite right. You know.
Yep, it's all tricky.
It's you kind of have to have a very healthy ego with this thing.
Right.
And you have to
you have to be able to be checked and to check and not be have bad blood or because they can
not assume to drive all the time.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah. So that's cool. How's your podcast going, man? You enjoyed it?
I am. For me, I get to talk to other interesting people. So, I mean, you're the first comic that I've had on it, and for me, it's a learning experiment. So, like, I just started doing the video thing, and I joke on the video. I'm like, this is just a way for more people to not watch the video.
How good is that visual? Because I have a pink eye right now.
I think you're pretty far.
Oh, good. I look pretty good.
Yeah.
From that distance.
You might see the light too.
Ooh, that is a good distance for me, man. I'm wearing that T-Mobile shirt. I used to work at T-Mobile. Funny story.
Yeah.
I used to work at T-Mobile, and the way I quit was legendary. I was at the Mall of America. That's where I worked. And at the Mall of America, at the last floor, there's a comedy club called the House of Comedy.
Right.
And it was on a Tuesday, and Tuesdays they had a showcase at the Mall of America.
Right.
And I was on that showcase. And the showcase was at 7:30. My shift was ending at 7 or something like that, 7 p.m.
Okay.
So my boss was being annoying. It's like one of the petty things. She's like trying to write me up for coming from lunch 5 minutes late.
Oh, was it power trip? She's trying to. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I get it. I might have done something else that bothered her in the past or something like that. But it just felt like a really like you're getting off your way to annoy me.
Okay.
You're like, she's because it was a late thing. It's like I'm very I have ADD, so I'm very bad at like organizational time.
Okay.
So I come like always like last minute and stuff like that, and then she's like, all right, if you're late, I'm gonna write you up. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then I stopped being late, and I went to lunch, 30-minute lunch. It takes fucking 15 minutes to get food there.
Right.
And then I came back 35 minutes, which is fine. Everybody does. She goes, I'm gonna write you up for that. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then I was like, I told people, I'm gonna take a 15, and I took my tag and I threw it in the trash. And then my coworkers were like taping me. I'm like, all right, guys,
so
you guys in the 15. And then I went to the comic club with my T-Mobile shirt. and I made fun of her. I just quit my job for real. And people didn't believe it, so I took out my shirt. I showed them my Team Local shirt, and then it was just a fun set. And then her friend was in the audience.
Shut up.
Yeah, so she
heard it.
She heard it. She's like, and then he made fun of me. I was like the most boss ass way to quit.
That's awesome.
One of my proudest moments is being able to quit. Because I,
Yeah.
like jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. She's not a bad person, but it's like, don't get trying to power trip me, bro.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, jobs don't it's a problem with people with jobs is like they act like the job defines your full character.
Yeah, why would you break your back for a job that would replace you in a week? You know what I mean? If you die or
Man, we're all like, we're all like working for the big man, and we're all pawns in this game, and you have this illusion of power because that's how they keep us occupied, and it's kind of like the way classes work, right?
Yeah.
Upper class really is making all that money, and then upper middle class, and then middle class, and then you
Trickle
got
down,
lower class, and then we have the lower class trying to fight for that middle class spot,
Right.
and we're trying to fight with, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But in reality, there's only one group of people making the actual real money.
Yeah.
Freedom. It's like, it's like you get caught up in all these shenanigans at work because people are put in a position of power when they truly are powerless.
Yep. Yeah. And they grasp onto that like for their life. Yeah.
So slavery lasted for a long time. You had the poor white people
Fighting with the black people.
Not really, not even that. They would have them monitor the slaves.
Yeah.
Because there have been a couple times in history where the poor whites and the poor blacks gathered and united against the plantation elites and stuff like that.
That scares the shit out of them.
And exactly, so they found that you have to create a casting system where you have the white that are poor and the blacks that are poor. Instead of finding that commonality, they give you an incentive to indulge in racism and in slavery. Like, all right, now you get to police the
right. Yeah.
you
Yeah. You get to think that you're
It's kind of like now that kind of exists now. If you think, I feel like you think about like cops and inner cities and the drug war and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In that sense, it kind of exists like that.
Totally, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you just said you don't like talking about politics.
That's more classism, and we're not really talking about politics per se. So.
Well, all I heard when you said that is, "Hey man, I don't want any Donald Trump."
No, you can go. Do you talk about politics a lot in your comedy, or
no? I
actively or passively? You find that
it's weird now. It's weird. I remember before I started was the Bush era, and there was a lot of Bush jokes, and people, every late night host had a Bush joke, and everybody made fun of Bush. Now it's like
kind of hacky, right? To make fun of Trump, like
it's not. It depends on how you do it.
Right. True.
It's like you think about it this way. Right? Every brown person, black person has a race joke. And already you're in a position where it's a saturated topic. So how are you gonna say that race joke without stepping on anybody else's observation premise? How are you gonna make that race joke original? That's why race jokes are very tricky to do.
Right.
And then the same with politics. Trump. You're gonna do a Trump joke. There's so many things out there about him that are outlandish and ridiculous. You can just point at them, and then that will get a laugh, and it's gonna be hacky. Or you can get something good, but it might have a low shelf life. It's a problem with like this kind of stuff. Is like the shelf life might not last that long.
Okay.
If it's topic based.
Right.
Like shithole stuff. I could have written a good shithole joke, but now it's kind of irrelevant. It's bad. Time's fast, right?
Right.
And so it's very tricky to get a really good Donald Trump joke that's already not been discussed on the Daily Show and all these late night shows that do it, and that doesn't divide the crowd the way it does. Like when people did Bush jokes, the crowds never got that comfortable, I don't think, because it was like, oh, you just beefing with Bush. Now it feels like you make fun of Trump, people just take it personally, as if their identity is undermined. They go, oh, you talk about Trump, then you're talking about me, then you're assuming there's things about me, and that. It's just a weird divider now. Trump is it's a very interesting time that we're living in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sometimes I like, the only Trump joke that occurred that I did is when, before he became a president, the joke was, my friend is like, I had two jokes. One of them was like, my friend is like, hey man, what are you gonna do if Trump becomes president? What are you gonna do? Because the joke was, the observation is like Americans kind of like
wanted to go to Canada.
reacted, but they overreacted in my perspective in a way like, you know, they forgot where I came from.
Okay.
So my friend was like, dude, what are you gonna do, man? If he becomes president, you're in trouble. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to Yemen? I'm like, dude, what? Yemen? I was like, dude, that's like if it's like if you're living in a luxurious apartment and then your rent went up $100 and you're like, that's it, I'm done, I'm going back to prison. You know? So I did that. And it was a way of saying like, hey man, I see what you're saying, but it's not that bad yet.
Yeah, that's very.
Right. But it might be that bad. I don't know. So that was it. And then I did that joke, and then when he became president, the joke was there's a couple of one-liner things like was true. One of the my friend is a hardcore Donald Trump supporter. But he owns a truck. And he helps me move.
So the juxtaposition of...
You know, and he's like the only, like, liberals don't really, you know, they're very conservative with the environment. They don't, you know, they have Prius and all these, like, you know, energy. So, like, all my Trump people have giant trucks.
Yeah.
It's a hard position to be in.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, and he also is like Iranian, which is hilarious to me.
Wow,
yeah,
Persian, hardcore Trump.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know, you're the first one to go, right? And so that was that. Just people get weird when you say it. As soon as you say Trump, people get really
just really tight and
uncomfortable and weird. And I'm like, nah. These jokes are already not that. Like I'm not like, yeah, fuck Trump. No, I'm just saying, you know.
What do you feel about the?
I'll tell you one that occurred to me. I'm gonna do all my Trump material just because.
Just get out of the way right now.
Just because I'm never gonna tell them on stage. This was interesting. I was in Wisconsin, and I did a show for a corporate show. There was a bar in the corporate event. I was sitting down, and this guy sat next to me. He saw the show, and he goes, "Hey man, really funny stuff." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, man." And he sat down. I was like, "Let me buy you a drink." I was like, "All right, cool." And he goes, "How Islamic are you?" Which sounds like a weird Facebook quiz, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a trap or something. Okay.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm gonna go 5% on this. I was like, just to see how, you know, I'm saying I'm in the middle of Wisconsin, it's snowing outside. You know, I don't want to get killed. I was like, you know, about 5%. You know, love America, 5%. Love the States. You know, big fan of Jesus. You know? And then the conversation carries on. He goes, you know, I like comedy, and my favorite one is Seinfeld, but I hated his Jewy friend. His fat Jewish friend.
Oh, really?
And I was like, does this guy not know Seinfeld is Jewish?
Yeah, wow.
I was like, this guy's not only racist, and
it's a dumb racist, which is the scariest part.
Yeah. And then and when he said that, I was like, man, I should leave. But the drink was super expensive, and I'm still waiting on that drink. So I say, and then the conversation carries on. Now he's talking about rich people. It's like, I hate rich people. You know, it's us versus them. And I go, the Jews? Just because I want to let him know that I wasn't cool with that first statement he made. And then he goes, yeah, the Jews and the N-words.
Wow.
And I go, okay, bartender, let's get that drink, baby. Come on, man, let's get that drink.
God.
Immediately, I didn't leave. And then here's the fascinating part, right? All this, what I told you is true. The fascinating part about this fellow is he hated Trump. I was like, dude, you can't, like, being racist is not even an excuse to just vote for Trump anymore.
Right.
You can, you know, agree with some of his ideologies and be like, hey, I love the Waltz idea, love it.
Right.
And still be like, yeah, but his economy, you know, the policies are shit.
Right.
So that's so fascinating to be someone like that.
And such a corporate event, it's such a way.
Not in a corporate event, just someone with that caliber of opinions and you know, like someone who's not PC, who seems a little bit anti-Semitic, who seems to be scared of Muslims somewhat, and definitely not sensitive to black issues, and still go, yeah, but dude is bad president.
Right.
That to me gave me hope. It really gave me
really,
hope.
that's the kind of way, like.
It's like, oh my God, you know, we keep saying like, you know, most of these people or some of these people are racist. And they're like, oh, there's hope. Racist people don't like Trump.
Right.
Because it's just not presidential. He's just not a president.
Wow, that's
That guy gave me hope, man. God bless you, bro, from Wisconsin.
Well, speaking of PC, like, how do you feel this increasing PC environment? You know, like with the Kevin Hart thing, like that scares the hell out of me because I know I'm gonna make mistakes and on the way, you know what I mean? But like, am I gonna be held accountable?
It's I feel like there's two small groups really. You know, I'm gonna get back to the Trump stuff. I don't think everybody that voted for Trump was racist.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people did it because they hated Hillary.
Yeah.
And I don't think everybody that hated Hillary is sexist.
Right.
But there's definitely a lack of sensitivity. You know, there's definitely like, it's not that you're racist, it's just that racism didn't make the cut in what you thought was important.
Right.
You heard the wall thing, you heard that Muslims need to go, but you thought, it doesn't affect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not racist, it's just like, you didn't think about us. You weren't thoughtful about our struggle. So with all that said, there's an assumption that there's like, everybody's on the side is Trump and fucking, racist, and then everybody's on the left is like, wow, why you said gay 8 years ago, And in reality, it's just a very small portions of the population that are doing all these things. And I am a liberal, I'm a liberal person, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be that fucking level of PC.
Right. Like,
obviously PC has its benefits, we don't want people going around saying fat Jews and N-words and,
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
right.
What I'm saying?
But this hypersensitivity is getting out of hand.
Yeah, no, it's just like there's a second little tier of very small people who are very loud. They go, yeah, but you, in the fucking 80s, Eddie Murphy was homophobic. Like, come on, man, you have to, like, let people grow.
Right.
Believe that people can grow. You have to see where the culture was then, where culturally at the one point the country was homophobic.
Right.
Right? At one point I was very open to say I'm against gay marriage. I was very open to call things gay. I heard the word fag in schools and stuff like that. It was like culturally it was the movies were homophobic,
right.
TV was homophobic. And then we grew as a nation. We gay marriage was legalized. The topic of, hey man, can we not describe negative things as gay became a thing, and then they were like, oh yeah, and then we realized that, and we're like, oh, fag is out of the question. I'm not gonna say that, right? And so we grew, and we should be proud that we grew. We should be proud that Kevin doesn't say that anymore. We should be proud that you had to go years before to find him say that. And then if you read his book, which I read his book, he says that. He says, in the past, I have said homophobic slurs, and I've grown from that. He addressed his homophobia
in his book.
And also, you have to factor in that. Have some empathy, man.
Yeah.
This man is a fucking African American dude from Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, he didn't have the privilege of going to Yale and going to all these fancy schools or any just regular colleges where they had woman study and sensitivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, being woke comes from the privilege of having the power of knowledge, right? But what happened with them is he got successful, and then he became friends with the people from all different walks of life, and he became friends with gay people. He became friends with probably Ellen DeGeneres and all these people. And then he realized, oh man, those words, even though I didn't really mean it ill-intended, I was trying to be funny, they hurt people. It's like if they said the N-word,
right,
even though they were trying to be funny, it will hurt me, so I gotta be careful with my words.
Right.
So he learned, and then that should be that. That should have been the story. The story should have been like, look at how someone came along. But we're such that small group of people such absolutists that they want to go like, it all comes from guilt.
Yeah.
It all comes from white guilt. That's what that movement comes from. I don't really see a lot of like people going like, yeah, what about that? They don't go that far. They don't go that crazy PC level.
Right.
It always seems to be these hipstery like white kids who I feel like indulge in racism, indulge in homophobia, indulge in all these little things when the culture was there, or at least deny that they didn't realize that racism was a thing because it didn't affect them. And as they grew and got educated and had more exposure, they thought, oh my God, I've been wrong. And then now they just go like ape shit with like, I'm woke, I'm great, I'm a good person, I'm gonna point at this guy. I'm
They have
gonna
a chip
point
on
at
their
this guy.
shoulder.
Not if it's shit, they're just pointing at everything that's bad, so no one points at them.
Oh, okay, deflection. Okay.
Yeah, they're deflecting in a way. He's like, really? You're gonna go 8 years deep with something that he grew from and apologized for and addressed in a book, just so you can be like, you know what? I didn't do that. You did that. Everybody's come on, man.
Yeah.
It's part of being human. We're supposed to like be fucking. Somehow politicians can say grab him by the pussy and and mean it.
Yeah.
And get to be presidents and. Someone says something that they addressed and from and
that's a good
can't
point.
host the Oscar.
Yes, that's a fucking great point. It's worrisome, but hopefully things will turn out for the best.
Yeah. It's fine because it's like I said, small groups. They're very loud.
Disproportionately
It's
have a
always
lot.
dumb people that are loud, and everybody who's reasonable is scared.
Yeah, most people I feel like are sheep and don't want to say anything rock the boat.
Not even sheep. It's just like rock the boat. You know, like if you address this on Facebook or whatever, people are gonna just rail into you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, shame. And just like, all that BS. It's like, man, like it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to, or give me some more hosting tips? Since like,
oh man, I'm just kidding, man. You're doing great, man. I've had some bad podcast hosts. You're definitely really good. You've been pleasant, man. I love you, man. You've always been good company. I enjoy you. I enjoy your company. And thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, and I'll definitely put a link on for your podcast and the websites, at least for your specials.
Appreciate it, man.
And I look forward to hearing the next podcast coming out.
Absolutely.
And,
what's the name of this podcast again?
Sharp Edge of the Word.
Okay, the definition of your name, huh?
Sword, but I just made it less.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's a pun.
Yeah, and what's it called? Hope to see you in New York and around the country. And
I mean, we're friends.
Yes.
Your hands are so wet. This is gross.
I'm sorry. All right, guys.
And I'm the one with pink eye.
Yeah, if I get pink eye, I'm gonna come blame you. All right, take care, guys. Thanks
Peace. Dope. That's good, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you enough for this. I know you're in the feeling of the weather.
No, that's not good, man.
I'll get out of your hair.
Don't get out of my hair. Now it's for you. Time for you to pay. You gotta entertain me now, man.
Oh yeah?
I don't want to be left alone in this fucking sickness. I'm actually not come with you, man. Where you going? How red is my eyes right now?
Dude, you're fine. It looks like you're a little high. That's it.
Yesterday